I think I think there is a cover-up somewhere.
On August 15th, 1986, Navy seaman Bobby Allen left Hesperia, California, after saying goodbye to his father and his sister, to return to the San Diego, where he was stationed aboard the USS William T. Bates nuclear submarine. Bobby never made it to his ship and was classified as absent without leave and ultimately a deserter. To this day, Bobby has never been located. Were there more sinister aspects to Bobby's case? Stick around. You may be surprised at what we found. And we know there's someone out there that may help us solve this case. I spoke with Bobby's sister, Linda Allen Macy, about the last time she saw Bobby and how this missing persons case has been handled. When is the last time you saw Bobby at all?
At all. August of 1986. He was due to go on a mission, and then after that is when I found out my dad received a letter stating that he went missing.
So you saw him just before he left to go back to San Diego, and I understand he was on the USS William Bates submarine,
Yes.
correct? Which is a nuclear submarine?
Correct.
And what kind of job did he do on the ship?
He was in clerical. He dealt with the mail and with from what I understand, the commanding officer. So he was yeoman.
From what I understand, someone in that position would require probably a top secret clearance because they would have access to all the information coming in to the commanding officer.
That's what I understand as well.
Now, Linda tells me that Bobby was a yeoman, and he was also a clerk and worked on the USS William Bates, working for the commanding officer. Now, remember I said he was a yeoman. Remember that for later, because that's going to come into play here, which is very interesting on something we noticed. But for his position, he would probably be required to have a top secret clearance to be there. Was it possible Bobby didn't want to go back to the ship? He didn't like being in the service or the Navy? Let's listen to what Linda had to say about that. Going back to Bobby, Bobby left the house knowing he was going back to be deployed on the Bates. What was his mindset on that day, the last day you saw him before he went back down?
He seemed to be in good spirits. It was my half brother's birthday, so he stopped by my dad's house in Hesperia to give birthday wishes to our little brother. And then he stated he was helping somebody move, so he had a car full of stuff. And I didn't question anything, so I really don't know who it was that he was helping move. He just said a friend. So, and then after that, he was going to go back to San Diego.
Okay.
But there was nothing wrong, or didn't seem like anything was wrong.
Did he have any concerns about going back down? Did he want to go back to the ship, or did he seem like he didn't want to go?
He always hated going on missions, I guess because of it being so compact. That type of thing. But other than that, it wasn't like, he hated to go because he liked being in the Navy.
As a matter of fact, Bobby received honor certification for his training as a yeoman, not something you would expect of someone who wanted to leave the Navy. I guess then comes the point of what did you do? What other work did you do on trying to find him besides calling family?
After I called the family, I called the Red Cross to see if they could help me locate him. I also wanted to report him missing to the police, but at that time they stated that they couldn't do it because he was labeled as AWOL. And then later, of course, after 30 days or so many days, he's considered a deserter. So no one ever wants to touch anything like that.
The Red Cross said they wouldn't help you. The police department did take a missing persons report. No, they didn't take one.
Not at that time. They
Really?
would not touch it.
Okay, so at the time, which was not more than 10 days later or so, you contacted both Red Cross and law enforcement, but neither wanted to help you file a missing persons report.
Correct.
Then I see also in the notes that Bobby's car was located on 2200 Harbor Boulevard in San Diego, which is like right across from the airport and probably about 4 miles from the base or so. Now he drove a 1985 Ford Mustang, correct?
That's correct.
And when they found the car, did you talk to law enforcement at all about his car or what had happened to it or anything else?
No, actually, I contacted the military and asked them if they would do fingerprints because of the time period, and it just didn't make sense to me. Because every weekend my brother would come visit me. So this is just not him abandoning a car and
Right.
leaving the keys in it
Right.
and not saying anything.
Did they do fingerprints or did they not?
No,
They didn't.
no.
Okay.
They felt that it wasn't necessary because he was AWOL. There was no circumstances to where they felt that fingerprints need to be done.
Okay. Now, as Linda told us, the Red Cross and law enforcement at the time wouldn't take a report on Bobby because he was AWOL. So they didn't have anything to do with someone who was AWOL. Well, it's too bad they didn't, because there's a lot of things that came up. For instance, on Bobby's car was located in San Diego along Harbor Boulevard, which is very interesting because it was located almost 3 months after Bobby's disappearance. And apparently it was located with the keys in the car. Now remember, this is a 1985 Ford Mustang, and this is in 1986 he went missing. This is a 1-year-old car. I can imagine Bobby wouldn't let that car go for nothing. So what happened? How did the car get to where it was on Harbor Boulevard, found 3 months, almost 3 months later, with the keys in the car? Who brought it there? Did Bobby drop it off? What's interesting too is this parking lot is right across the street from the San Diego airport. So did Bobby go somewhere? Did someone take Bobby out and then he brought his car there and dumped it? We don't know. The problem is the car got towed and stored, but no one ever did any criminal investigation. No fingerprints were taken. Nothing was done with the car as far as a criminal aspect, because no one wanted to believe that possibly Bobby was abducted. I asked Linda what she thought happened to Bobby. I will let Linda tell you in her own words. You have any idea what happened to Bobby? Any thoughts at all?
I think somebody knows something.
Mhm.
I think there is personally, I think there is a cover up somewhere, but no one's really talking. And if they do, the stories are not matching.
I asked Linda if she had declared Bobby dead, and I'll let you listen to her answer here of why she had not.
Well, the thing of it is it's been how many years and I've never declared him dead and I've never collected anything. And that's because it's really hard to think about doing because, sorry, I get emotional every time I try to say it.
That's okay.
Whenever you declare somebody dead, you're accepting that he's gone. And
Right.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
There's no proof that he's gone,
Right.
besides him not being around,
Right.
there's no body, there's no nothing, and then I see all the stuff that happens on TV, the news about these military bases and stuff. So it just makes you wonder,
Right.
what really did happen,
Right.
who's covering up for who,
Right.
because nothing jives.
There's a lot of inconsistencies on this case, things that should have been investigated and weren't. I mean, if you look at Bobby's car, was found in a parking lot across from the airport at San Diego almost 3 months after he was disappeared. Where did that go? Where did that come from? Who dropped that car off? Why was it never searched? Why was it never fingerprinted? Well, the answer there is there was no investigation. Everyone thought Bobby was AWOL or just deserted. But a 1-year-old car deserted with the keys in it, apparently, that's strange. It should have been investigated. Then how about Bobby's belongings? He had belongings in his locker. A lot of things that should have been looked at. Were there letters in there? Was there some kind of evidence that would have said what happened to Bobby? He had a top secret clearance apparently. Was there something going on? Did he have some information? Who knows what it was? So his belongings were never returned to a family. They could never find the belongings. We have an inventory of the belongings that were supposedly put in storage, but no one's ever found those. But now we have another unique issue here. And what I'm showing you here is a picture of Bobby standing next to a fireplace at his home in his uniform with a patch on the sleeve. And it looks normal by just glancing at it, but once you look at it closer, there's something strange about this uniform, and that's the patch. Now remember when I told you Bobby was a yeoman. So if you look at the patch on his sleeve, that is not a yeoman's patch. That is a radio man's patch, or a technology patch nowadays. So there's a distinct difference in the two. The radio man's patch has what looks like lightning bolts in the center. And now if you look at the yeoman's patch, it has crossed feathers in the center. So why was Bobby wearing a patch that didn't belong to what his job was? That's strange. Why wasn't that brought up? Why didn't someone notice that and think, what is he doing in that uniform? That would have been a real question to have. So the distinction in the patches, that's another thing. There's just so many things on this case that could have been investigated at the time if someone had to open an investigation and really gone after what happened to Bobby. But you had to wait till 2014 to get a case filed on a missing person and start the investigation then, when everything was pretty much cold. A lot of people are gone. The information's gone. The car's gone. Property can't be found. So we're still looking. Since 2014, what's been done on the case? Well, actually quite a bit. Linda has done extensive research, as I mentioned before, but we have obtained DNA from many family members on this case. We do have dental records in the system for Bobby. We have reached out to former mates on his ship. We've talked to other Navy personnel. We have contacted NCIS and tried to find additional information, but they weren't able to get anything other than what we have. But we do have things in the system, so if Bobby does show up somewhere, hopefully we can ID him or we can find him. So our question to you is, do you know anybody that was in the Navy in the 1985-86 time in San Diego that may have known Bobby? We need to get this out to as many people as we can and see if we can find information on Bobby so we can get closure to the family. If you have a loved one missing or you know of someone missing, there's all kinds of organizations out there to help you. NAMUS, NECMEC, FBI, local law enforcement, the Doe Connections. There's all kinds of them out there. So if you need help, get a hold of local law enforcement. They'll help you out. If you know something on this case, hey, and you want to be anonymous, call WeTip. Get the information into them. Let them know what this is. I'll put down in the description here the case numbers, who to contact, and the information on this case.